Thank you for joining me today. I'm God's servant, Maxwell Nnawuihe. Welcome to the part 4B of our teaching and analysis, focusing on the release of Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra independence movement. Today, there's a new twist in our analysis, and that is the breaking news. The breaking news of the sack or the dissolution of the third administration of IPOB, the DOS, headed by Mazi Nnamdi. It is a breaking news. This happened a few hours ago. It's not up to 4 hours it happened. The information came through from about 2 sources that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has sacked the DOS of IPOB. The DOS, headed by Mazi Nnamdi, alongside other people that were mentioned in that press release. I will be reading out the full details and the reasons for the sack of the former DOS. I'm going to read out everything that was wrote in that press statement. But before I read it out, I have 30 questions that I have listed out. I have 30 questions that I will be asking. And I know that some of you may be asking some of those 30 questions, if not all of them. Do you know why I'm bringing this information of the sack of the DOS? You know why I'm bringing it to my platform, Maxwell Nnawuihe YouTube channel? It is because the IPOB leadership, the IPOB administration, what it does or whatever that happens to that leadership, directly or indirectly, it has impact on the spiritual dimension or aspect of the case of Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra independence. That is why the leadership of IPOB is very critical. This is why I want to bring it to this platform, that we may look into it briefly and continue with the part 4B of our deep analysis. Our deep analysis is focused on the article of Mike Arnold, what he told Biafrans to do and Nigerians what they should do. Now, after this breaking news, we will continue with our deep analysis, which is the part 4B. Now, here it comes. I will read the 30 questions first. After reading out the 30 questions I listed, I will go to the press statement of what happened, why the DOS was sacked. So when I'll be reading it out, you will be digesting them and comparing them with the 30 questions. Are you with me? The first question is this: is it the right time to dissolve or sack the third DOS headed by Mazi Nnamdi based in Switzerland and appoint the fourth DOS headed by Mazi Chris Nwogu based in USA? And between two of them, who is more qualified to head the DOS of IPOB? This is the first question I'm asking. Number 2 question: who influenced the decision to dissolve the third DOS? And was it under government pressure or not under the government pressure, as some people alleged earlier? Number 3, did Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made this decision with a better understanding or under emotion or hearsay without proper verifications? Number 4 question: will the wife of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Uchechi Kanu, stand by her husband's decision, being the supreme leader of IPOB, and support the new DOS headed by Mazi Chris Nwogu, or stand with the dissolved DOS headed by Mazi Nnamdi alongside other names mentioned who were also sacked? Number 5 question: will the IPOB members worldwide follow the sacked DOS or the new or the fourth administration headed by Mazi Chris Nwogu? Number 6 question: is this dissolution of the third administration of IPOB, Directorate of States, official or not, given that it wasn't Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that announced it by himself? Number 7 question: will the dissolved or sacked DOS obey and stand down or insist to keep control of IPOB leadership, IPOB coordinators, IPOB lobbyists or Biafran lobbyists, foreign diplomatic moves, both in US and in Israel and other countries, will they refuse to stand down and insist to keep control of IPOB funds, IPOB assets, Radio Biafra equipment and technologies, secret intelligence, command and control under them? Will they insist on keeping all these things under them? Number 8 question. What are the advantages or disadvantages of sacking the third DOS and appointing the fourth? Number 9 question. How will this affect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's next appeal court judgment, positively or negatively? Number 10 question. Do you see any hand of the government in the sack of the third DOS, or is it by the sole discretion of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and wisest advice? Number 11 question. Does the third DOS deserve an outright sack or dissolution or suspension or temporal discipline, or was there no need for any of this at all? Number 12 question. What will be the fate of the ESN who are loyal or under the control of the third DOS in terms of their safety, their upkeep, commitment to the assignment? Number 13 question. Will the sacking of the third DOS open doors to another wave of insecurity in the Southeast as a result of control of power, or ensure better security for the communities in the region? Number 14 question. What are the pedigree and track records of all the newly appointees of the fourth administration, DOS, and how credible are they to occupy such a position of IPOB leadership? Do you know them to be very competent and of unquestionable characters, or incompetent? Number 15 question. Were these newly appointees chosen in a hurry or carefully chosen for such position based on their qualifications, integrity, achievements, loyalty, or sentiments, compensation, and negative influences? Number 16 question. Whose decision and directives will you respect and follow moving forward? The dissolved DOS headed by Mazi Nnamdi, the newly appointees, or the fourth DOS headed by Mazi Chris Nwogwu, or you will be neutral until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gives a direct message by himself in this regard? Number 17 question. Are you discouraged or believe that the right decision has been made based on the reasons listed for sacking of the third DOS led by Mazi Nnamdi? Number 18 question. Do you agree or disagree with the reasons listed for the sacking of the third DOS headed by Mazi Nnamdi alongside those mentioned in the sack? Number 19 question. Will you pray for the success of the fourth DOS? Will you wish their downfall, or pray for the former DOS? Number 20 question. Will this lead to the fall of IPOB, or stronger, wiser, and more disciplined and visionary leadership of IPOB? Number 21 question. As an IPOB member, as an IPOB leader or supporter, where will you send your money? To the dissolved DOS or newly formed fourth administration? Where will you send your funds? Number 22 question. Does this development make you withdraw your support for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and give him, or does it make you to give him more of your support? 23 question. Will the sack of the third DOS bring more focus on the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra, or cause more distractions and media war between the sacked and newly formed DOS? Number 24 question. Do you believe that it was wrong or right for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to have sacked the third DOS headed by Mazi Nnamdi and appointed the fourth DOS single-handedly? Number 25 question. Was it better for their sack to be made openly, or should have been a secret to avoid raising dust? Number 26 question. How will this sack of the third DOS and appointment of the 4th DOS bring stronger and more international supports for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra freedom. Number 27, critical and important question. Will this development make the international partners of IPOB and Biafra lose interest and withdraw their support for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra or not? Number 28 question. If you have the opportunity to advise Mazi Nnamdi Kanu right now, what will you tell him about the sack of the 3rd DOS headed by Mazi Nnamdi alongside those names mentioned in the sack? And what advice will you give to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the appointment of the 4th DOS headed by Mazi Chris Nwugu alongside other people appointed with him? Number 29 question. How will you compare the sack of the 3rd DOS with the sack of the former legal team of Barrister or led by Barrister Fanny Jofo and Chief Michael Zekome? Number 30 question. What are the leadership lessons both from the sack and appointment of the new IPOB administration, the 4th DOS? This is the end of the 30 questions regarding the sack of the 3rd DOS of IPOB and the appointment of the 4th DOS of IPOB. We'll be right back with the details of what really happened and the reasons for the sack of the 3rd DOS. I'm God's servant Maxwell Nnawuihe. In the beginning of this very video, I told you that why we are bringing this aspect, this new development into what we're doing is because the leadership of IPOB, whatever that happens to it, directly or indirectly happens or affects the spiritual dimension of the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and that of Biafra. Now, let's go straight to the press release. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu dissolves the 3rd administration of the Directorate of States, DOS, and inaugurate the 4th administration. 17th June 2026. This is coming from Legerfield, Germany. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Supreme Leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB worldwide, head of the Restoration or Biafra Restoration Project, Director of Radio Biafra, and by the special grace of the Almighty God, a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra, has today, being the 17th of June, dissolved the 3rd administration of the Directorate of States, DOS of the Indigenous People of Biafra. Pursuant to the authority vested in him as Supreme Leader, Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu hereby inaugurates the 4th administration of the Directorate of States, DOS, and appoint Mazi Chris Nwugu, who is based in the United States of America, as the new head of the Directorate of State. Mazi Chris Nwugu shall assume immediate responsibility for the administration, coordination, and day-to-day management of IPOB affairs, working with his team under the authority and direction of Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Background: the Directorate of State was established by Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in 2012 as the administrative arm of the Indigenous People of Biafra. Since its inception, the Directorate has been headed by Dr. Justin Akujieze, USA, head of the 1st administration; Mazi Uchenna Asiebu, Spain, head of the 2nd administration; Chika Edoziem, Switzerland, head of the 3rd administration, appointed in March 2017 during Onyendu's detention at Kuje prison. By the express order and authority of Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the 3rd administration is hereby dissolved, and the 4th administration is duly inaugurated with immediate effect. Reasons for the dissolution of the 3rd administration. I want you to pay attention carefully. The decision of Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to dissolve the 3rd administration of the Directorate of State was not taken lightly. It followed a careful assessment of the performance, priorities, and stewardship of the movement during one of the most critical periods in the history of the Biafra Restoration Project. I hope you are remembering the questions I asked, those 30 questions. The primary duty of any administration entrusted with the affairs of IPOB is to protect the movement, safeguard its integrity, defend its members, care for those who suffer persecution because of their commitment to the cause, and advance the strategic objectives led down by Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Regrettably, the third administration fell short of these sacred obligations in several fundamental aspects. Abandonment of detained Biafrans. I hope some of the questions I raised are being answered as I'm reading. The most grievous failure of the outgoing administration was its inability to prioritize the welfare and liberation of hundreds of Biafrans detained across various detention facilities, particularly those held for years without trial at Wawa military barracks in Niger State. Many of these men and women suffered unimaginable hardship. Some died in detention, others endured prolonged incarceration under conditions that should have mobilized the full attention and resources of the movement. The few who survived were reportedly compelled to accept outcomes they would otherwise have resisted simply to preserve their lives and regain their freedom. No government that claimed or that claims to stand for justice can neglect those who paid the highest price for their commitment. The abandonment of detained Biafrans represents a profound dereliction of the duty of care owed to every member of the IPOB family. Second reason, misplaced priorities and internal distractions. At a time when the movement faced unprecedented external attacks, too much energy was diverted into internal disputes, personal rivalries, gossip, blackmail, and factional controversies. Valuable time, resources, and organizational capacity that should have been directed towards diplomacy, legal advocacy, prisoner welfare, public engagement, and strategic planning were instead consumed by distractions that weakened cohesion and undermined confidence within the movement. The struggle for Biafra demands discipline, focus, sacrifice, and strategic clarity. Any administration that loses sight of these essentials inevitably compromises the effectiveness of the movement. Another reason for the sack of the third DOS, as put in the press release, failure to protect the integrity of the movement. Remember the 30 questions I read out. Those 30 questions, are they being answered or not? You can put your comment in the comment section. Failure to protect the integrity of the movement. The Biafra Restoration Project is larger than any individual or administration. It is a sacred trust handed down by Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and sustained by the sacrifices of countless compatriots or patriots. Under the outgoing administration, divisions deepened, public confidence diminished, and the movement's image suffered avoidable damage. Opportunities to unite and strengthen the family were too often missed. The fourth administration is therefore handed or mandated to rebuild confidence, restore unity, and reestablish the culture of accountability, discipline, and collective responsibility that must define IPOB. Failure to safeguard strategic communication platforms. Another reason for the sack of the third DOS. I'm God's servant, Maxwell Nnawuihe. As I said earlier, I'm bringing in this aspect into our part 4B of our deep analysis, because what affects the IPOB leadership directly or indirectly affect the spiritual dimension or the spiritual aspect of the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the Biafra Restoration Project. That's why we also bring it in here. failure to safeguard strategic communication platforms. The ability of a liberation movement to communicate effectively with its people is indispensable. The weakening and compromise of key communication channels created confusion among supporters and provided opportunities for hostile actors to manipulate narratives and sow division. The protection, recovery, and strengthening of authentic communication platforms must therefore become an immediate priority of the new administration. Remember, I talked about the assets and the Radio Biafra outlets, technologies and all that in the 30 question I raised. If you are just joining now, it's important you go back to the beginning to have a comprehensive understanding of what this video is all about. Need for organizational renewal. The dissolution of the third administration is ultimately not an act of vengeance, but an act of organizational renewal. The challenges confronting the Biafra Restoration Project require new energy, renewed discipline, strategic focus, and a leadership structure fully aligned with the vision, directives, and priorities of Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The inauguration of the fourth administration reflects a determination to correct past shortcomings, restore confidence within the movement, strengthen internal cohesion, prioritize the welfare of Biafrans anywhere, and advance the cause of self-determination with renewed purpose and vigor. The indigenous people of Biafra owe a duty to those who have suffered, those who remain imprisoned, those who paid the supreme sacrifice, and the generations yet unborn. That duty demands accountability, renewal, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. It is in fulfillment of that duty that the third administration stands dissolved and the fourth administration inaugurated. Now pay attention. Composition of the fourth administration of the Directorate of States. Here are the names of the new administration. Mazi Chris Nwogu, USA, Head of Directorate of State. Solomon Ebo, Deputy Head of the US. Wada Ogu Nnawuihe, Head of Finance and Budget Planning. Chigozie Okekenta, Coordinators of Coordinators. Dr. Chukwudi Nwogugu, Head of Medical and Welfare Planning. Barrister Kechukwu, Head of Media. Comrade Emma Powerful, Spokesperson at Media and Publicity Secretary. Mazi Terry Nemi, African Continental Representative. Ndidi Haworum, North American Continental Representative. Tochukwu Ikwanose, North American Continental Representative. George Ume, European Continental Representative. Wada Uyetagan Ejiro, Deputy European Continental Representative. S. Ndolo Ibulam, Canada National Coordinator. Mazi Chukwemeka Anoliefo, Asia Continental Representative. Prince Chimezia Loze, Middle East Continental Representative. Wada Bridget Okafo, Woman Leader. Wada Bridget Okafo, Woman Leader. Mrs. Rachel Nwosu, Israel Diplomatic Representative to IPOB Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You remember Rachel Nwosu, who have been showing her video here, meeting with the MKs or the parliamentarians of Israel. All right, and also Madam Bridget Okafo, her group played a major role in the United Nations judgment in 2022, from 2021 to 2022. Moving on, Mr. Michael Statter, UK Diplomatic Representative to IPOB Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mr. Mike Arnold. Mike Arnold is the man we have been looking into his article for some days now, from the part 1 to the part 6. We are now in the part 4B of the article of Mike Arnold. So he is listed here. Mr. Mike Arnold, U.S. Diplomatic Representative to IPOB Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mrs. Mercy Statter, European Women Coordinator. Special appointment approved by Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Abraham Obenna, Germany National Coordinator, Mazi Charles Okeke, Germany Deputy National Coordinator, Romanus Obichukwu Kamadu Ogoro, Italian National Coordinator, Shedrack Nwafo, Italian Deputy National Coordinator, Simon Chibweze, Switzerland National Coordinator, Christopher Aka, Switzerland Deputy National Coordinator, Mazi Simon Chibweze, National Coordinator, Switzerland, Christopher Aka, Deputy National Coordinator, Switzerland, Mazi Paula Chebe, PRO, Italy. Establishment of the Elders Advisory Council. In furtherance of strengthening the leadership structure of the movement, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has established a new Elders Advisory Council. This council shall sit immediately below the Supreme Leader and above the Directorate of State, DOS, in the hierarchy of the Indigenous People of Biafra. It shall provide wise counsel, strategic guidance, institutional memory, and unwavering support to both the Supreme Leader and the newly inaugurated fourth administration of the Directorate of States. Remember the 30 questions I asked earlier. If you are just joining, it's important you go back to the 30 questions from the beginning. You will learn a lot. Directive to all officers, all coordinators, principal officers, unit heads, and functionaries of the Indigenous People of Biafra worldwide are hereby directed to immediately establish contact with the IPOB World Headquarters in Legerfield, Germany, for further directives and administrative guidance. Furthermore, every officer previously appointed by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is hereby restored to his or her former position with immediate effect, pending any further administrative review by the newly inaugurated Directorate of State. All previous suspensions and expulsions are hereby set aside, and if affected individuals fully reintegrated into the family. Important notice on media platforms: until the ongoing recovery process is concluded, all Biafrans and supporters are advised to rely exclusively on Biafra Radio and Biafran Vanguard for official communications, verified information, and authentic updates relating to the Indigenous People of Biafra. Legal and administrative measures are already on the way to recover Radio Biafra and restore it to its original purpose as a trusted platform dedicated to the Biafra Restoration Project. I hope you are listening. I hope you are also following. Additionally, the Biafra Restoration Project has been diverted from its core objectives and increasingly subjected to activities inconsistent with the vision and the principles upon which the movement was founded. The fourth administration shall work diligently to restore focus, discipline, integrity, and strategic direction to the movement. The full list of appointees to the Directorate of State shall be made public in the coming days by the head of the Directorate of States. All structures, units, directorates, departments, national bodies, and coordinators are directed to accord full cooperation, recognition, and support to the fourth administration of the Directorate of State under the leadership of Mazi Chris Nwogu. The day-to-day affairs of the Indigenous People of Biafra shall henceforth be piloted by Chris Nwogu and his team in accordance with the directives and visions of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The Indigenous People of Biafra remain resolute, united, and unwavering in our commitment to the restoration of Biafra and the pursuit of justice, freedom, self-determination, and the fundamental rights of the Biafran people. All members and supporters of IPOB worldwide are urged to remain disciplined, focused, and committed to the principles of the movement as this new administration assumes office, issued under the authority of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Supreme Leader, Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB worldwide, head of the Biafra Restoration Project, Director, Radio Biafra. This is the end of the full details of the press release with regards to the sacking or the dissolution of the third Directorate of State, DOS of IPOB, led by Mazi Nnamdi. Go back to the 30 questions that I asked in this video. Go back to them. I believe you're going to find answer. I believe you're going to find answer. I believe you're going to find answer to some of the things that are said or that are raised in the press statement. We are coming back to you with a continuation of the deep analysis coming from the article of Mike Arnold, which is the part 4B. Part 4B. In the description below this video, you will find links to other parts from part 1 to part 4A of our deep analysis. I will surely come back to you with a continuation of the deep analysis. I'm God's major prophet, Maxwell Nnawuihe.
Subscribe on YouTube, TikTok, X, Facebook, and Instagram. Follow Maxwell Nnawuihe for more updates. Follow us on YouTube, TikTok, X, Facebook, and Instagram for more updates.